all the women who lost their male partners to red pill content? Front and center, please. Because I want to know what happened. I want to know how he started off when y'all got together and how red pill content changed him and how the partnership ended. What did that look like? And I also want to know, how did it feel to lose somebody you thought you knew to something as trivial and shallow as red pill content?
Peace and blessings. Shout out to all my silver tongues. As you can see from the previous clip, she asked women to respond about what happened when their man discovered red pill content. So today I'm going to be reacting to their responses to see if they really lost their man to red pill content. Without further ado, let's get into the clips.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth. Nothing more.
Who are all the women who lost their male partners to red pill content? Front and center, please.
Okay, so when I was 18, I was dating my on-again and off-again partner.
What?
Let's call him Kevin. And we were dating like on-again, off-again since high school. And I really liked his personality. He was actually pretty cool. And he always listened to what I had to say. Things were going pretty south the moment that I lost with him when I was like about 19. At that time, I was struggling with a lot of like mental health issues. What went down is that like I couldn't give him any like time. I couldn't really like tell him that because like it was again like months after that I went to therapy and they gave me a proper diagnosis that it was PTSD all along. But all of that came to a head when I opened up to him that I was queer, like I was bisexual. And remember that we were friends. He kicked me out of his house and he went on a rampage about like queerness, and he admitted that he cheated on me throughout our entire relationship and that he wasn't happy. And the reason why that he wanted to be in the relationship to begin with, it was because of sex. Because of like that content, like the red pill content, I lost my friend.
I think Kevin got tired of being in the friend zone.
I was just so confused because I was like thinking to myself, like, where did my friend go?
She's just confused, period. She started off saying that they had an on and off relationship. How can you lose something that was on and off? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all were never a thing. Then you told him that you couldn't sleep with him. Then you told him you was queer. I'ma be honest. I don't think the red pill ruined her relationship. I think she's a terrible friend. And Kevin finally realized he wasn't benefiting from the relationship, so he was out.
Where are all the women who lost their male partners to red pill content?
I wouldn't say I lost him because I know exactly where he went. When all of that stuff started coming out, and also when Trump won the election and got more popular, but on a different stage this time, it was like the man who I had initially gotten together with, suddenly he was allowed to say the quiet parts that he'd been thinking the whole time out loud. So we're divorced now.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
This is why men don't want to get married. You mean to tell me that it's okay to divorce your husband because he decided to verbalize his opinion? I'm gonna venture to say that if a difference of opinion breaks up your marriage, y'all did not have a strong marriage anyways. I'm glad she said she didn't lose her husband. She knows exactly where he's at because it highlights the fact that she decided to break off the relationship. She decided to run off. She decided to get lost. And that's a very important part of this debate because it's like, did you lose your husband to the red pill or did your husband lose his wife to feminism? Before I go to the next clip, I just want to say, make sure you stay tuned to see if anybody can outrun the red pill boogeyman.
So I lost a boyfriend and my brother to red pill content for basically the same reason. It started off with them being like inspired by how empowered I am and how ambitious and that I want to like do things and tackle things and I can like plan things out and I know how to like organize things. Then turned that my personality and all the things that they loved about me suddenly emasculated them. And that I am ruining all men based on my expectations of them. And the early signs I got of this was I low-key made a joke about the Reddit threads, and they got upset and had some few choice words on it. And I started noticing that that is the bulk of the content that they ingest online. He kind of did the red pill thing because he knew that was exactly what I didn't view and agree with. Like, when I found out I couldn't eat meat anymore because my body just literally can't eat it, and I can't have, like, milk anymore because I'm lactose intolerant, he would, on the reverse side, go ham and eat only burgers and only cheese. And he did that for just about everything. So now his red pill content is mixed with Christianity because he knows that I'm not, and I lean to more of like a spiritual, like native universe kind of thing. If that happens to someone that you love and that you cherish, then like they're gonna transform into some fucking person that you don't even recognize in a span of a couple of months because they're such a weak, shallow person that they need to cling on to anything that attacks the very thing that makes them feel threatened and emasculated.
I can almost say without a shadow of a doubt that no relationship is gonna go good if you call somebody weak and shallow. It's an interesting phenomenon dealing with most liberals. What I come to realize is that most liberals are liars. They start off by asking you to be tolerant of their viewpoints, and in exchange they say they'll be tolerant of your viewpoints. But that's a lie, because as soon as you start expressing your viewpoints, you will see how intolerant they are. So far, I'ma be honest, I'm siding with men, because it looks like these men are dodging bullets like Neo in the Matrix.
Here are all the women who lost their male partners to red pill content. Front and center, please.
Hi. I did, actually. They were always red-pilled. I just didn't realize that. I think I was just seen as an obstacle to conquer. Later on in the relationship, I had said, like, we keep fighting about my needs need to be met. You think that giving, like, compliments is stupid, but that feeds my soul, so I don't think we should be together.
She proposed breaking up with him over compliments.
Things started to really get weird. I said I wanted a marriage. They said I wasn't worthy enough, that there's always this thing that I wasn't enough. They didn't need to be red-pilled. They kind of already believed the red pillars. They're just kind of validating their beliefs already.
This video's giving bored cat lady that decided to turn on her camera just to hear herself talk. But I do want to address something that she said, because when I was doing my research, I seen a lot of men in the comment section saying exactly what she just said, which is, I was always red pill. I just needed somebody to validate what I was seeing because I thought I was the only one. There's a reason why men are drawn to this type of content. And I know that this content is a shock to women's system. I can tell how they respond. But the reason it's a shock to their system is because we've been living in a gynocentric society. So they're not used to ever having to consider what men think and how men truly feel. After watching this woman stitch, I'm feeling like the red pill is 4-0. I believe the red pill saved 4 men. When I look at these situations, I'm seeing that men are speaking up, and the women that they're with are clearly letting them know that they don't think these men are worth changing for. And I was really shocked to hear that, especially with the last lady. She said her man was in the medical field and she's ill. I don't think she's gonna find another man like that. That's why she's sad. And so from everything that I've seen so far, women are not losing their man to the red pill. They're losing their man to pride, arrogance, and overvaluation. But it doesn't have to be this way. The red pill doesn't have to be a boogeyman. Watch this clip and see how a woman responds to her husband learning about the red pill.
When me and my boyfriend first got together 4 years ago, he was a totally different guy, even than like the guy he is today. He had just gone through some stuff. He was working on himself, and honestly, like, he was an easy guy to fall for. Like, successful, had his own house, the works. But like slowly over the course of the time we were together, I noticed like this change in his behavior, and he slowly kind of started to devolve. Like, he wasn't treating me the same way. We didn't talk as much, and I honestly didn't enjoy being around him. Like, I didn't like him. But like right when I started getting to a breaking point, I noticed one day, like, I heard on his phone, Andrew, Mr. Andrew, and it all clicked. Like, it all started making sense. And I was like, okay, this is gonna be an uphill battle. And I'm not gonna lie, we fought like daily for a long time. It was a lot of fighting, but eventually I realized like he was hurting, and I had to really meet him where he was and try empathy instead of anger and judgment. And it was very hard for me to do. And I'm not even going to sit here and act like it's something that is even worth doing with everybody, but I realized that he was a really good person and he was worth doing that with. So like your relationship doesn't have to fall apart. It just took, I'm not going to lie, like years, truly, like just as much time as we had spent together before that. We spent almost that same amount of time working on our relationship after that. But I also feel like that's why it's so important to realize that Andrew Tate is the only person talking to these men. And if you want a different result, you have to talk to that man.
Yo, this woman figured out how to beat the red pill boogeyman. She was wise enough to recognize what she had at home. She recognized that she had a good man. And instead of blowing up the whole situation because he was introducing himself to a new ideology, she decided to stick around because she knew that he was worth sticking around for. And look, I don't want to get into the semantics of whether or not men are hurt and Andrew Tate is the only person. It's plenty of men in the red pill space, for one, so it's not just the Andrew Tate thing. For two, I don't necessarily think that men listen to this content because they're hurt. I think a lot of men listen to this content because they're pragmatic and they're trying to figure out how to deal with the modern day female. Here's how I'm gonna end it. The red pill is 5-0. When we look at the last situation, that's what the red pill is actually designed for. You started to embrace your masculinity and you got to see the woman you was actually dealing with, and she decided to ride with you. You might have something good. It's just like when we tell women to withhold sex for a certain amount of time to see if they really got a good man. The red pill is only the boogeyman to women that involve themselves in lies, manipulation, and deception. If you like this video, I have another video similar to this one entitled Lesbians Apologize to Men After Dating Women for First Time. Click the link below and I'll see y'all over there. Peace.